if we have bipolar disorder or mood disorder, or if we have trouble regulating moods or emotions, it doesn't matter if you have bipolar disorder or you have personality disorder. If you are having trouble at that moment regulating your mood or emotion, it's going to be extra hard if you're faced with a moment where, whether it's a confrontation or whatever. But I found that the easiest time to start with practicing both training yourself and your family, behavior modification, your own behavior modification on them and yourselves at the same time, is during a phone conversation. That's, for me, the easiest place to begin. Even when I'm stable, I'm super, super emotional. And, if I'm, kind of feeling off or on the edge or, having a little bit of extra moodiness, and all of a sudden somebody is saying something that is making me uncomfortable, that's hard. And I remember the first time, my family members would do it, and one family member in particular, and I was like, oh, God, and I'm sure they didn't realize it, but I did. And I really didn't know how to react because I didn't want to lose any of the ground that I had made in my, years of making up, trust, and through my maintenance and, getting my illness under control through, medication and therapy. And yet I was in this conversation where all of a sudden it was like he was, getting angry, and I was like wanting to revert back to past behaviors of exploding and hanging up. But I was like almost like a deer in the headlights. What do I do? What do I do? So all of a sudden I said, I've got to go. I love you. I don't know what really, how to respond to this right now, but I've got to go. I love you, and I'm going to talk to you soon. And then I hung up, and I thought, oh my God, because this is not a family member used to being hung up on. I didn't know how it was going to go. But later that day, I called and I said, I just wanted to explain. I really, I did not know at that time how to handle myself. It's new, and he immediately said, you know what? That's okay. And he was really supportive. And so it goes to show that just a little bit of communication and modification in our actions can go a long way. And that whole situation there set into momentum for me, a whole path with this individual, this relative that is, a lot like me, but not bipolar, does not have bipolar disorder, but has a very hot personality. And, you have to kind of tread lightly. And yet when he is getting, a little hot under the collar, I will say, and it's not like mean, don't get me wrong. It's just like most people it'd be nothing. But for me being so emotional, it's like a lot. And what I'll say now is, whoa. It's a lot right now. Can you please just dial it down a little? Because you know me, this is a lot. Please, I would really appreciate it. And it's amazing. It works. So it sounds crazy, silly, and easy, and it is, but it's so helpful. And you know what? It's helpful for them because they've told me, and it's so helpful for me. And how it helps me is in many ways. It gives me further self-control awareness, because I've lacked that my entire life. You know, whether I was in a episode of my bipolar disorder illness, or whether it's, I don't have to be in an episode. I've always lacked self-control, and I've always had a high level of impulsivity. But this has really taught me, it is teaching me. I'm like a Pavlov dog, you know, or I'd like to be, you know, ring the bell and I get more self-control. But it's teaching me how to, you know, slow down and get self-control. It's teaching my family that they can trust me, that they can see that I am really able to be trusted, and that, you know, it's kind of hard to put words on, but I'm pretty sure many of you out there who have a bipolar diagnosis understand what I'm talking about. You know, we can get stability, and yet many of us still have people around us who, for very good reason, still have trust issues. And it's frustrating for me, very frustrating. But, you know, we have to, I guess, in my situation, I have to rebuild that trust in baby steps. And that's what I'm doing. All right. The last thing I'm going to cover is a group setting. Say a family get together, like Thanksgiving or whatever. This is a slippery slope. It can be, it's like the ultimate challenge for me. You know, you are with family, friends, and at least my own family and friends at first, they were extremely uncomfortable. I could tell. They didn't say anything, but you could just tell. You could, you know, it was uncomfortable because they were waiting for me to do or say something, you know, that was unpleasant or weird. For those of us with mood or emotional dysregulation, you know, you never know. It's like, what's going to happen? So, and it was really important for me to try to show them that I could behave. And that sounds still so foreign. It's like, why do I have to say I have to do that? But I do, because I have bipolar disorder. And even though I'm managing and maintaining my illness, that doesn't give me a free pass to come unglued in a group setting, especially if there's children around. So I had to learn how to remain calm, even if like weird stuff came up that might trigger me or might, you know, whatever. I had to learn a way that if something did trigger me, I would know how to react, how, you know, what to do. So, you know, some of this is my idea. Some of it is ideas I have learned through some therapy. Some of it's basically a mix-up. But here's what I've learned that I've started doing, or I've done actually for, you know, a few years. Maybe it'll help you. So if something comes up, let's say you're sitting at the table and something triggers you. It doesn't matter what type illness you have, I think. Well, I shouldn't say that, but if something triggers you, you're really uncomfortable, you're gonna blow a gasket. Excuse yourself. Step up from the table, excuse yourself to go to the restroom. Go into the restroom, and this sounds really weird, but go to the sink, turn on the cold water. Reach over, turn off the bathroom light. Go back to the cold water, put your hands, both hands, under the cold water, and begin counting to 60. And as you're counting to 60, breathe in, think calm, breathe out, think bad thoughts out. Once you get to 60, you can turn off the water, turn on the light, and return back to the table. You don't need to say anything. Nothing needs to be said by you. What you've done and what I've done, in my opinion, is I have interrupted that thought process. I've interrupted what was disturbing me. And for me personally, I have it's not that I've forgotten. Sometimes I'll go back, but it's disrupted. That disturbance is disrupted, and I'm like, I really shouldn't have thought that. Anyway, it's a behavior. It's like a Pavlov dog. Okay, I shouldn't have thought that. And I didn't say anything. That's the most important thing, is I didn't engage. And my family saw, oh, she didn't engage. They didn't think about me going to the restroom. I don't know if they're not that sophisticated or what, but the point is, it worked. And so it was a win-win for everyone. And it's a work in progress. And, those of us with bipolar disorder, we're smart. Come on now. We are smart, but we have to work at it. And so it's a work in progress, but it's possible. So that is for today. It is Jedi mind tricks to better your relationship with your family and friends, but also to better yourself so that, you could be at more peace. I hope you enjoyed today. Please leave a please leave a comment, a like, and subscribe, and check out my channel, my podcast. I'm like all today. Check out my podcast, The Bipolar OG. And also, I'm going to be having guests for any people that are interested in possibly being a guest on my podcast. Put a little comment in the box below, and possibly I'll have you for a guest. Thank you for being here today, and I will see you guys next time.